Here's a Montana forest. And unfortunately, I'm looking down at the highway and there's a lot of racket coming from that, so I don't know how good this video will be. But it's a nice, cool spring day here in Montana. And I'm going to start my way back across this pasture here. I go on long daily walks every day. It helps me get away from my office and sitting in that chair. But I also get a lot of good ideas for cartoons while my daily walks. And oh, that's a nice ponderosa pine. Anyway, we spent several days, Tina and I spent several days down in Austin last week, and I got to do a couple interviews on InfoWars. And I just want to say, it was, people thought, wow, you're going to speak to millions of people, you're going to be nervous. And I wasn't at all. And I tell you why, because sitting next to Alex Jones is like sitting next to somebody you've known for years, because I've heard him for years. And it was just perfectly natural to me. So it wasn't really all that big of a deal. I was pretty relaxed throughout the whole thing. And I also had an interview with Owen Schroyer and David Knight as well. So all in all, it was a 100% successful trip. But it's good to be back in Montana, and we've got more cartoons coming this week. We had a little bit of a time to decompress, so it was an exciting trip. It's the first time I've been out of Montana in many years, and Alex Jones picked up the tab for the whole deal, so he was very gracious about that. One thing I noticed is his operations were, I mean, it's a lot bigger than I thought. I was pretty flabbergasted by all the employees he had. And he has a lot of young people working for him. And I met a great many of them, and boy, were they sharp. And it really gives me hope for the future, because these kids, and I call them kids just because I'm getting older, they're very energetic, patriotic, and they're on board with the fight against tyranny. And again, that gives me great hope for the future. I met so many good people. I'm not going to even try to talk about them all here, but one that really stands out in my mind is meeting Roger Stone. And boy, I consider him the Elvis of politics. He knows, when it comes to the political world, he knows everything about everything. And he was, working for Nixon when he was 16. He was a political prodigy. And I read some of his books, so I was just amazed by his memory, how he could recall photographically things that happened decades ago. I wish I had that kind of a memory. But anyway, it was quite an inspiration to me, and I was kind of relieved to see that Alex is the real deal, and he acted off camera the same he does on camera. So I don't detect any acting or fakery. I mean, he's what you see on camera is what he was like off camera. The man just has boundless energy, and he is really devoted to the cause. So, I was a little bit worried, because I was wondering if I could keep up with him, and then I stopped worrying about that. Is, he goes 100 miles an hour, I go 40 miles an hour. And that's just the way it is. Anyway, I'll wrap this up. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a inside scoop on what happened down in Texas. But it's good to be home. Beautiful Montana, the Treasure State. That's all for now.